Himangi, you are on mute.
Namaskar, a very good afternoon, India. A very good afternoon to the world, and a very good morning to the eastern and the western part, or maybe good evening. जहाँ पे भी आप हैं, हमारी तरफ से नमस्कार. This is Himangi Arora Mishra again in front of you with another episode, rather a very prominent leading episode of Speak Up and Empower, Real Talks Lead by Gratitude. Gratitude that I have always talked about because it's very easy to say yes and thank you for the goodness that we come across, but it's very difficult and very challenging to accept the things and the parts where we are not in sync in favor of whatever is happening. So when I say be thankful and be grateful and be thankful to the happenings, I always quote with the thing that it's always good if something happens of our choice. It's better if something doesn't. So कुछ हमारे कहने से और हमारे सोचे तो अच्छा और ना हुआ जो सोचा उससे और भी अच्छा. That's what we keep telling ourselves. So it's always because there is a divine power that's working for us, and the destiny, the things, the fate that we call. With that, a very important and a significant role plays of our own deeds, our karma. And that is where I would like to take the privilege to invite my co host, but today my guest for the day, Dwani Jain, on the platform of Speak Up and Empower India, because today I just want to talk about how we can change our destiny through our karma. How is it important to look forward on our own karma in respective of the fact what is happening around, and how it helps us to be grateful and thankful and have all the gratitude in our hearts. So Dhwani, welcome on the platform of Speak Up in Empire as a guest. And
Thank you
I
so much, Himangi.
I have Dhwani with her team, a core team of Karma Foundation, as she's the founder of Karma Foundation. Dhwani, I would like you to introduce yourself and Karma Foundation as a guest on this platform today.
So thank you so much, Himangi. It is in fact a pleasure. We have been doing this show together from last 2 months, and being a guest in the same show where you have been a co-host is an altogether different feeling. So I'm really honored that you invited me as a guest to your show, and my pleasure more than doubles because today I'm accompanied by the Karma family. So we have our co-founder Gitika Tiwari, and another very integral part of Karma family, Anu Agarwal, is trying to join us, but there is some problem. And I feel all I could do was because of the constant support from the people around me. We often say so and so person is doing something, but I feel no person can individually do anything. It is only because of the ecosystem, it is because of the support system that you get. So I'm really grateful in the beginning to the members of the Karma family who have been together since we began this journey, and hence we are doing all that we could do.
I think this is the basic or the core trait of a leader who knows how to bring out leaders, who know how to give the credits, the genuine credits to the team members. And this is how we lead, because that's what I say, that you need to lead by gratitude. You need to be thankful for whosoever is there accompanying you in the journey, whether good or bad, whether giving you a push or maybe a pull, because when you are faced by a pull, you retaliate with the much higher force. So I think that is also very important. But Dhwani, I would not like to have a good communication today. I would actually like to see and understand what is your journey from a woman who was rather a girl who was into the college going for the technical part, and then thought of the society, took that very initiative in the form of karma. Then what was the concept about behind it, and how the entire journey, because people have been hearing you from different forums and different platforms. And I would also like to like you to tell us all that where we can find you other than for karma and other than Speak Up and Empire, because how visible you are is also very important. How much visible you are because you're not visible for, for just meek reasons. It is very significant role that one play to be on certain platforms. So I would like you to introduce your entire journey and let us all get acquainted to it.
It has been a roller coaster ride. So I always tell I have been always been a very bubbly, happy-go-lucky person since my school days. College days had been all about fun. I could be seen everywhere in the playground, in the except maybe yes, sometimes in the classrooms as well. But it had been an awesome and wonderful journey. And post that I worked for few years with the corporate, but somehow I think that I was not very satisfied with what I was doing. I thought I could contribute more meaningfully to the society, and hence took on this unknown journey of social entrepreneurship. And since Gitika Tiwari is with us today, she could actually testify the fact that how I was as a school going girl and how I have become now, because she's the one I have known from last 2 decades or more than that. So maybe she could tell you more about that. And as far as karma is concerned, the idea behind karma was because I have always believed that people say there is a role of luck in what we do, but I feel that our actions are the reasons for everything that happens in our lives. And every action, before it is actually acted upon, begins with a thought. So karma is a result of my thought, which I thought that maybe I could contribute more meaningfully to the society. Then I start talking about the whole concept with my family, with the people around me, and then finally we acted upon it. And that is how I feel any change can be brought about. You can take any of the social problems that we have right now. The first step is to think about the problem, then talk about it, and then only a movement can be built around that problem. So that was the primary purpose of starting karma. And we are working towards building a more egalitarian and progressive society wherein every individual can contribute and lead a more dignified life. So we are in the field of skilling. We are working for women's safety, gender sensitization. In the sooner years, we would start working on the climate as well. And we also bring about a magazine called Karma My Impact. And again, the reason behind starting the magazine is, you would agree that knowledge is actually power. So whatever knowledge we have as individuals, as or whatever knowledge our patrons have, people in the society have, we want to take it to the larger audience. And in the last 2 editions, we actually covered everything that we could about COVID. And I feel that was very important, because during COVID times there was a lot of misinformation going around. So we tried to cover every aspect of COVID precautions. Then the COVID vaccine, the last edition was all about vaccination, where we covered the positives as well as negatives of vaccine. So that is my attempt to take whatever knowledge I have or people supporting me have, we can take it to the larger audience.
This is so beautiful, Dhwani, and I'm glad to hear about it because I was myself very much curious what's happening in karma, and what are we going to see in the coming future. So, as you said that you'll be working on climate, before that you're working for the gender sensitization. I would like to have a glance, if in case you can share, is there anything, any story behind it where you actually came across a person or an instance or an organization that actually led you think about it? As you said that you think about a social problem and then we have to think about the solution, or other way around, that if we actually want to find the solutions, we actually look forward to the problems. So what is there in the mind when you look forward to the gender sensitization? Because I find gender equality to become a very fancy word these days. I would be very, I might sound
Hmm.
very raw on that, but people started talking about gender equality on a different ground altogether. They have forgotten the fact that there is a word called equity. You might be in a certain situation where you would like to be, and where there is a person, another person who might not be. So what plays, what playground is that? I would like to understand what is your call on gender sensitization, and how do you think that people should be grateful for not being or being gender sensitive?
That is why I didn't use the word gender equality, because then it becomes a fancy term. I use the word gender sensitization because we have often seen that how people stereotype. So many times I'm told that, when you drive like a man, so there's nothing like driving like a man. Driving is a skill which every gender, every person needs to have. It is a normal skill. So though it was meant to be a compliment, but somehow it hit me hard. So they're small little things. And why I have been working on women's safety, because there are a lot of women who are doing such wonderful work. But even in my family, till the time I'm home, my mother would keep calling me, oh, where are you? So people do understand that women should do everything, but that safety aspect is one thing which keeps us somewhere. I mean, things are improving, no doubt about that. It would take time, we do understand that, but if we could expedite the process, nothing like that. And again, I'm not talking about creating a matriarchal society. That would be completely wrong. I envision to see a society where both genders actually work as equal partners. So we are not in a rat race, we are not fighting amongst each other. We have to collaborate, we have to work together and use each other's strengths to build a more progressive society. So it is not a fight. We just need to accept our strengths, our weakness, and maybe not stereotype the gender. There could be a boy who's very good in so-called feminine activities. There are women, we know Mary Com, we know for God's sisters. So they have taken the less treaded path and they have shown their excellence. So my humble request is not to stereotype. There's nothing like boys don't cry. I don't agree to that. Boys do cry. Women can cry. There's nothing wrong. I mean, so these are the things.
So, Dhwani, we have been talking about it pretty long, then why do you think that? What is your idea of having a society where it was men? Because I have been talking about it personally, that the roles were defined according to the era. Now there is a different sort of world that we are living in. If we say that boys don't cry, there was a time when they were not supposed to, because they were found in the battlefields. Now nobody is going to go ahead and fight for the country in that very way, because that is a sign of emotional high. And emotional high, when you need to cut somebody's head, or you need to behead somebody, at that time it's not worthy, it's not relevant to have that emotional high. You can't actually cut somebody crying. So that was what was expected out of men. And of course the same goes with the woman, because who was supposed to take care of each and every organism and the living being in the house, whether a plant or an or a cat or a dog or family members. She was supposed to be at her utmost giving behavior, so that she can nurture the things and people around. At that time it was okay to have a very kind woman with a very stubborn or masculine approach that we see. But now obviously we are having that kind of living styles, that we are equally doing almost the same activities, as you said, the feminine activity or a masculine activity. So it's like we are doing the same activities. A male is cooking as well, a woman is driving as well, they are going out and fighting for their own journeys. So I think that was something okay. Are you grateful to be the part of the society which actually had men the way the typical men are quoted, and the women to be seen in that very way? Because I want to talk about how grateful are you for the roughness that you see around you. Today we see it as roughness, but there was a time when it was the prominent way of living in the society. So how do you see yourself that way? Do you see good in it? And if yes or no, whatever it is your call. Why?
Umangi, I completely agree. The roles were defined because of a reason, and that is what I say. We have to rationally grow ourselves with changing times. So a simple right like a woman voting right was given after so long. So when we have come to a society where no longer we are in that mode where men are going for battles or women are taking care of their homes. We need to adapt ourselves, and adaptability is a key feature that every human must have. In fact, we recently had the first female vice president in US. So it took so long for them to have a female vice president. We had the first female prime minister way back. So in that those terms, yes, we have been very adaptable. And yes, the roles were defined for a particular reason. In fact, I think for every tradition that we now feel is redundant or does not fit, there was a reason behind it. We can take the example of the most tabooed subject of menstruation and women not going to the temples, but that was primarily because those days we did not have those hygiene products. We did not have those kind of medicines. We did not have those kind of support systems. But now, so we need to change ourselves with the changing times. And as far as being born in the current generation is concerned, there's nothing I can do about it. So all that I can do is contribute my bit towards creating a better world. And that is all I say, that yes, things change as per times. We also need to change alongside. And we have seen some of the very brave women in police forces, in air force, in the army. So yes, things are changing into better, no doubt about that.
I think we are blessed to be the part of the country where we have our goddess as Durga, and
Yes,
हमें ये सोचने की ज़रूरत नहीं है या हमें ये देखने की ज़रूरत नहीं है कि क्या एक औरत उड़ सकती है, क्या एक औरत ड्राइव कर सकती है। अगर एक औरत शेर के ऊपर सवार हो सकती है, तो डेफिनिटली वो कुछ भी कर सकती है और हम उसकी पूजा
we need
करते
to
हैं।
work
So
with
India is a
men
country
more.
where we have been nurturing and idealizing the fact that women can do anything. You know, the Ashtbhuji Durga that we pray to, अपने आप में एक बहुत ही significant idealization था और है। It's just that we are not able to identify the facts, क्योंकि जो लोग बाद में civilized हुए हैं या बहुत बाद में जो civilizations आए हैं, उनको समझने में जो टाइम लग रहा था या जो वो स्टडी कर रहे थे, वो हमारे पास ऑलरेडी था। और इट्स जस्ट लाइक कि अपनी प्लेट में जो होता है वो तो दिखता नहीं
वो
है।
अच्छा नहीं
सो
लगता।
वो अच्छा भी नहीं लगता है। So I think that is where India and Indian youth is lacking. If we are lacking somewhere, because I don't find any reason where I call myself I sometimes feel post COVID we are not the part of the league where we should call ourselves the developing countries, because I think we are, there is a part of India which is far ahead developed in terms of spirituality, morality, and of course the technical part as well. So Abhi, my question was, are you grateful for being that part of society? How okay you are with carrying those value systems जहाँ पे patriarchy या maternal aspects पे चीजें inclined हो जाती हैं, and I would like your team to participate in this question, because I would like to ask the same question to Geetika as well, because we both,
So
we all three of us are women, and I am sure we have been fighting for certain things, we have been accepting certain things. हमें सबको दिवाली पे तैयार होना अच्छा लगता है, दिए जलाना अच्छा लगता है, वहां हमें पेट्रियार्की याद नहीं आती, हमें बहुत पसंद है तैयार होना। so 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 point is that how do you like that, do you like that, and how do you carry that, and what part of our culture do you want people to see, and how are you taking it further?
so I'm really grateful. There's nothing like I'm not grateful. I'm really grateful to be a part of the society. And like you have said, in India we have traditionally revered women, and you know we have been not only respecting women, but to the extent we are praying goddesses, right? So yes, as a culture we do respect women, and I don't think we need to work with women as such. What we need to do is just align the thought process of men and women and take
Yes.
both the genders together. I'm really grateful to be born in a country where women are respected, they are protected, they are like, we do not look at a woman as an object. As a society, We have never looked at women like objects. We have been looking as every woman as a mother, sister, daughter. That is our core culture. Somehow, in the process of development, things went wrong to an extent, but we are not late in getting back to the roots. During the COVID times, the whole world came back to the Indian philosophies, Indian systems of health, Indian systems of everything. So let us
Yes.
just work together once again to build that respect for each other again.
I
Gitika, if
think
you would
that's
like
so
to.
beautiful. That's very beautiful. And on that note, I would just like to add one more part that अगर हम goddess की बात करें, अगर हम दुर्गा की बात कर रहे हैं, we can't forget the fact that how important and significant it is marked in our culture where we have been identifying the value of emotions. You know, when it is not right and you are supposed to be loud, it is actually defined in a very certain way ki yes, if there is something wrong happening you have to be loud. And actually we've been praying kali kali, for that reason, क्योंकि वहां पे गुस्सा रौद्र एक बकायदा एक रूप स्वरूप में है,
Absolutely.
जहां पे ये कहा गया है कि if something is not right and fit for the society and the women and the good people, you must be loud. So I think being loud again is not a feminizing or a masculine line में कहीं पे भी नहीं exist करता है. So this is something very very true which has been marked. I think it's just that we need to understand. I
We need
believe
to
I
just realize that. Yes,
Yes.
absolutely.
So ऐसा ऐसा कभी आपके साथ हुआ है ध्वनि, when you've been loud and you are on your own dimension and people said इतनी तेज आवाज ऐसा क्यों ऐसा नहीं होना चाहिए.
हमेशा हुआ है. I think since my childhood I have been very loud. I keep shout, not in anger, otherwise also my pitch is also high, so everybody tells me, oh, calm down. I'm like, this is these are my vocal cords, I cannot do much about it. But otherwise, to be on a serious note, yes, people do expect me at times to be more docile, but then that is their problem. Doesn't matter to me any longer. So I have learned to put my point across in an assertive way without maybe hurting their sentiments. And slowly, yes, we are working together with people who do not want to hear a woman's voice, but I'm sure they would start doing it if we as women do not use the sympathy card. Rather, we have to work in a
Yes.
rational way. We have to. So I always tell women, use being a woman is your strength, not your weakness. Do not come to me telling, oh, I have to do this. You have to find out ways. You have to create your support system, and that is your biggest strength. Use your strengths. Do not show me the weakness. I need to see strong women around me. So
Beautiful. So I'm sure there is a very strong woman from the team, Geetika. I would like to know about her as well. People will love to know about her because people have seen Karma and Dhwani a lot many times, but I'm sure the back support, the backbone might not be visible. But here we are having her. So I would love to hear from you as well, Geetika.
Yeah, thanks so much. So, you know my name. My name is Geetika Tiwari, and then I'm associated with Karma since the beginning, since the foundation itself. So I was a professional. 13 years I have been working with the automotive sector, which is a male-dominated sector. But then I was really mesmerized to see Dhwani working all those times in the COVID lockdown period, and that really moved me when we all were thinking about just working from home and taking care of domestic chores and just worrying for our family. She was out there and helping others when we were only thinking about ourselves. So that really moved me. And obviously, we are very good friends since 20 years now. So that was the thing that made me go to her, and then we somehow collaborated, and then we started with the journey. So again, thank you, Dhwani, for that. That is my short introduction, I think.
So you were a very good friend of Dhwani, and you are an integral part of Karma. I got to know this. I am glad to know this. I would like to know your, your idea of gratitude. How you carry and how you practice gratitude, Gitika.
Yeah, I really, follow this. Gratitude is really important in our lives. I follow it in, I think, every aspect of my life by making sure that I express my views, my opinions, and my feelings and emotions to anything, to the person or to the situation or to anything like any situation in life, any circumstances. So for everything, I have a lot of emotions inside, and then by expressing those emotions, I make sure that the uh, the gratitude is always felt by me or by others. Maybe if they don't feel that is their issue, then it is with me. So that really makes me really strong from inside, and this really develops my inner strength.
Thank you so very much. This is so beautiful. Either I am feeling grateful or somebody else. ये काफी अच्छा है because I'm sure इसका बहुत सारा underneath meaning भी है. So it's like, yeah, but yes, taking it on a very very positive note. This is amazing because somehow we generally realize either be an example or you are setting an example or you are learning from something. This only happens. So it is a chain. So, Dhani, what is your idea of gratitude when things are not in your favor, when things are not happening the way you want? Like you were working on the magazine, lockdown happened, people were not available, maybe not, responding, maybe not responding to the mails. At that time, do you feel thankful to them? Okay, good, you are like letting the things delay. Do you think this way? What happens then? क्या होता है तब?
I think absolutely. I am more grateful to people who have tried to create obstacles in my path, because every obstacle actually turned out to be an opportunity. So that is a blessing in disguise, maybe. So earlier, before the lockdown, we were planning to come up with a printed magazine, but due to the lockdown and everything, we came out with a digital magazine. So the benefit is it reaches out to more people. Definitely, the cost is less, and most importantly, we reach out to people across the globe. So that turned out to be a blessing. Then it also gave me time to reflect what exactly how we want to take this journey. And I have always said that, every time a person tells me, oh, when you can't do this, I take it as a challenge and I have to make it a point that I have to do it. So I'm very, very much grateful to people who did not have faith on me. So people who supported me, definitely I'm grateful to them, but I'm equally grateful to people who did not. So
So I think this is the way generally the leaders live. That at the end of the day we find the dots get connected, and it is the destiny that actually took us to the level we are. And the people who were supportive were supposed to take up the role of the supporters. The people who were not were actually placed because they were there for us to get that push towards our goal, where we were more enthusiastic, where we were more eager to reach to that very level where they didn't want us. So I think the path is already defined. It's just that our way of thinking needs to be in line, and it should be on that line of gratitude where we are thankful to each and everything happening, and believing in the fact that yes, this is happening because I am destined to reach the goal. And this is what makes us do our karma. This is what makes us do our deeds on a very regular, rather assertive way. So thank you so very much, Dwani, giving such a beautiful insight of your with your own journey, because that is where I always say that on Speak Up and Empower, the experts are not the experts because they write some degree in front of their names or as a prefix. It's because they have lived the life, and they have actually learned from the life, and the experiences acted for them as the degrees, and hence they are known as experts. So I actually am blessed to have you as an expert panelist on Speak Up and Empower India, and I'm looking forward to many more experts on the panel, because as we are coming up with so many beautiful, amazing things on Speak Up and Empower, the apps that we are having, the magazines, the quarterly magazines, the newsletters, we'll want lot many experts to share and inspire so many people across the globe. And thank you so very much for doing such a wonderful job that you've been doing with Karma Foundation. And I'm looking forward to more interactive sessions with you as the founder of Karma Foundation, and of course, a lot many as my co-host. So, so thank you so very much for being here. Thank you so very much, Geetika, for taking out time on this Sunday afternoon and giving us half an hour of your life. And thank you, Dhwani. And before we sign off, I would like you to close this session with your closure statement.
Thank you so much, Himangi. Thank you, Gitika, for joining and for being in the journey of karma. And once again, like I always say, let us keep doing good karma. Let us keep focusing on good work. Problems would come. Let's not get bogged down by the challenges. And on behalf of Speak Up and Empower, as an integral part of Speak Up and Empower, I thank all the people who watched us today, who have been watching us throughout. So I hope to see all of you in the coming sessions. And in the evening, I think there's another session, Himangi.
Yes,
So,
indeed, it is.
so we hope to see all of you in the evening session with our lovely host, Himangi Arora Mishra. And till then, keep
Our two
rising, keep shining.
storytellers along with this. So thank you so very much for joining us at this moment of time and taking out time on this Sunday. I'm sure the journey, shared with Dhwani, journey shared by Dhwani is very much inspiring for all of us to understand that leaders have a certain mindset, and mindset is for the people across the globe in the very same way, where we look forward to the strengths and we accept the weaknesses and we handhold each other, and with that we are living the lives of the heart centric people who actually understand emotion and accept them. So, if you are one of those who actually accept the emotions and would love to join us, please contact us on Speak Up and Empire India, speakupandempower.com. I and Dhwani are there on the portal. And with that, I'm signing off today. Namaskar.
Namaskar. Bye bye.